You guys asked me to stop talking about American news and talk a little bit about European stuff. But with news like this, I just want to say that it is difficult to resist. I don't know why. Maybe it's because Britain is under a tier 17 lockdown, so stuff isn't happening there. That's interesting. Or maybe it's just that the United States is going completely crazy that I get news like this. I mean, look at this, okay? Columbia University. I mean, the cathedral of progressiveness, the holy sanctum of anti-racismus, is going to host not one, not two, but six additional. Look at it. Intimate graduation ceremonies. What do you mean intimate graduation ceremonies? As a person who finished 2 universities and went to 2 of these ceremonies, I can tell you that beyond a shadow of a doubt, it is one of the only times in my life that I did not want any intimacy. Do you know why people go to a graduation ceremony? It's not to get a blowjob, it's not to have sex, it's to be proud of the fact that they finished a university. And they want the whole goddamn world to know that, hey, look, I went to this place and I managed to get a diploma. I graduated, I finished. It is done, it is over. I can now look at a perspective of unemployment and working at McDonald's because I finished Columbia University. That is why people go to these events. There is no, I mean, the desire for intimacy at a graduation ceremony simply does not exist. It does not compute. If I want intimacy at a graduation ceremony, do you know what I do? I stay home. I don't attend. Yeah, I mean, you know, like, why not just break it down until you reach to the point where you're only concerned about the individual? Because all of us are different. Okay? All of us are special. All of us have something unique. So then why not have just a graduation ceremony for each individual student? Every day a new student gets to talk about how he graduated. Oh my God, and I'll tell you what the Romanian thinks about this. Like the Romanian inside me is screaming right now. And when I put my point of view across, it's going to blow your mind, Westerner. But look here, okay? So they get ceremonies for black. And by the way, if I'm not mistaken, like the ones for black is literally like the last ceremony. It's scheduled to be the last. I'm not making this up. You know, like these people, they need to be called something. Because like we need to define this level of stupidity. Woke supremacists. That's how you need to call them. Woke supremacists. Because they have so much in common with racists that it's impossible not to connect the dots at one point. Like all of these people are obsessed. Like literally obsessed about identity. Like the thing that it should be something that you're born with and other people shouldn't judge you. No, like these people cannot have that. Like if one single sentence goes by without them knowing who said it, they don't know what to do with that sentence. Like if you sing a song to these people, if you play a rap song and you're singing the lyrics in karaoke, they freak out because they need to know, was it a white man that sang it or a black man? It's really important. The following decisions that they're going to take is based on whether or not the skin color of the person who said it is correct or not. Like that entire worldview is based on this, and they reach the same part. They reach segregation, and like look at this shit. Okay, so they got it for black Latinx. By the way, like Latinx is a slur if I'm not mistaken. Like the overwhelming amount of Latino do not appreciate this word, and despite that, they still push it. It's like, no, you're going to have this word being pushed upon you for your own good. It's like, look, Latinx. The reason it exists is because they want to degenderify the language, whether Latino people want it or not. Okay, like they want to abolish gender. Latin is a Latin language. The entire language is based on gender, you American imperialist. I know the English language is not the same, but literally every word in a Latin language, like Romanian, for example, has a gender. The teacup has a gender, okay? My cock has a gender, believe it or not, it's feminine in Romanian, right? No, the penis is feminine in gender. Not everything makes sense. I don't even know why they have genders, okay? But like Latin, Romanian, Italian, German, these are languages that have genders in them. Like when you try to bring your imperialist bullshit into our languages, it not only sounds bad, it makes you look ridiculous. Okay? It makes you look like that R word that you banned because it applies to you so goddamn much. Every single time I read an article about woke supremacists, the R word comes to mind. I even have to say the R word now because you're policing language. It's like, oh my God, this applies to us like a T. But like, here's the difference, okay? A person that is born that way with mental deficiency, you're not going to use the R word because that's offensive. They can't help it, okay? It's a tragic situation. But when you look at a university professor, it doesn't have to be a tragic situation. You can choose not to be like a person with mental deficiency. You can literally choose. Because you have a healthy mind if you manage to become a university professor, allegedly. So stop being that way. No, seriously, it's why people use the word as an insult. Like, society is desperately struggling to bring you back to normal. Like, please be normal. And the university professor is like, Ree! I genuinely, like, don't understand how you can consider to be anti-racist while pushing for segregation. And it's not just at the university, by the way. Like, do you remember the autonomous zones and all of that? Like, literally every single where the woke go, segregation is soon to follow. But they're anti-racist. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Where do you disagree with the KKK on policy? Like, on ideology, I understand, but on policy. Like, I'm really curious how many points of disagreements you have, because I'm pretty sure myself would disagree on everything. There wouldn't be a single common point. But at least I know that on the subject of segregation, you agree with them. And it doesn't just happen on the universities, by the way. Like, go on other progressive places that are anti-racist, like the Twitter. Okay, the Twitter even has like a trust and safety council to make sure that everyone over there is behaving accordingly. And look what you get. Look what you get. It's like a picture of a black woman who married a white guy. You know, just normal picture. In any normal case, no one would complain, but then you go on Twitter and you have all of these people who, by the way, graduated universities. Like, you look at their profiles and they have been at the university and it's like, oh, white man lover, race traitor. Race traitor. Like, literally, that's what they're using on Twitter. They're not getting banned, by the way, because this is woke as fuck. Like, this is the apogee of wokeness. This is the woke supremacists that I've been talking about. You know? Like, oh, you're marrying a colonizer. Oh, time to upgrade. It's just like utterly disgusting. This is the society that they're creating, and it's coming from those fucking universities. And it's no wonder when they're behaving like that with, we're going to have intimate graduation ceremonies for a special place for every graduation ceremony. Yes, Latinx, Native Asian, LGBTQ, and low-income students. Oh, I mean, you don't want the poor to mingle with the others now, do you? I generally, like, fuck me. This is just like the most bizarre shit. What if it's a person that has like all of these characteristics? What if I got like a low-income Latinx that's also LGBTQ? Like, is he attending all three of them? And apparently they're voluntary, okay? Like, no, hold on. Like, they're voluntary. So let me get this straight. According to the woke supremacy ideology, if you make a racist joke, you're normalizing racism, all right? But if you're doing a voluntary segregation event, you're not normalizing segregation. Ah, that doesn't make sense. Okay, I'll tell you what the Romanian enemy has to say, all right? Like, I'll tell you what the Romanian mindset is saying when I'm looking at this bullshit. Are you ready? Like, it's going to blow your mind, but it's true, okay? How much does it cost? How much? How much are you paying for this shit? Because, by the way, graduations, you may not know it, they're kind of expensive deal. They're really expensive. The university has to forward money in order to pay for this crap, and usually it's taken from the students. But you have to set the stage, you have to have the space, you get to have professional cameramans and professional designers and all of that nonsense. All of that costs money, believe it or not. You know, and from what I understand, they're concerned about low-income students. You can actually use that money for those 6 events in order to have some low-income students come to your university. You can have a scholarship for them. Like, trust me, because I know, because I worked at one of these events. They're very expensive. And you know what's interesting? All the Americans are complaining about student debt. And I kind of understand where they're coming from. I really do. When you look at how these universities waste money and resources, it's not even funny. Like, if you come to Romania and you behave like this, like if a university would waste the money of students like the way American universities do, people would look at you like you're committing some sort of sin. It would be like a crime for humanity. It would be like going in an impoverished place and throwing away food. Like that's how people would look at you with disgust and disdain. It's like, why are you doing this? Just stop it, okay? Stop wasting money. Stop wasting resources. Be better. That's what the Romanian people would tell you. Be better. They would judge you. They would judge you based on class. Like, honestly, in the United States, it's one of the craziest places in the world. Like, no. Seriously, if you're European, get this shit. If a 16-year-old goes to a bank and says that he wants a loan for $80,000, what do you think would happen? You would think that the bank would laugh him out of the place, right? And be like, right? That's what you think would happen. Now, if he asks for a university degree, he gets the loan. He gets the fucking loan. A 16-year-old gets the loan, right? And then he goes to gender studies or some other bullshit. And then it's like, oh, I can't find the job. I cannot find the job. Oh, shit, I got loans to pay. And then he looks towards the politician. It's like, please erase my loan. Please, politician, erase my loan. It's surreal. It's fucking surreal. It's like, okay, so this is because the government, by the way, is the one vouching for the guy, is the one saying, hey, give you money, because if you can't pay, I'll pay for you. And then the government tries to get the money back from the student. That's what's happening, right? And no one blames the universities for this shit, because now the universities go, so no matter how high the price I put, no matter how expensive it is to go to a university, I'm still going to have suckers that are going to attend. No matter what bullshit I teach, I'm still going to have suckers that attend because they can just make a loan, even if they can't afford it. They can make a loan, the government will back for it. Oh, so why shouldn't the price for education be $50,000? Why shouldn't we hire our friends in positions of, I don't know, diversity officers and pay them $300,000 per year? Why the fuck not? Why not? I mean, if the dumbasses are willing to pay, why shouldn't we take their money? And that's what's happening. And you know, like the idea of erasing student debt is the government is supposed to pay for it. Not the universities that are like literally the problem here. They are the actual problem. I genuinely don't understand all these leftists. They go around and they complain, oh, the government is doing me a harm. Why aren't you complaining to the university? Where are the people without jobs that finished university protesting in front of the university? Oh no, they're protesting the system. They're protesting the system. It's like, no. It's not the system, okay? It's your decision. You wanted to go there. You didn't want to go to Eastern Europe and learn some trade. No, that's horrible. You know, coming all the way here, learning to be a doctor when it's cheaper, and then you have a diploma that's recognized in the European Union. You can do your residency in France if you want to, and then you can go back into America. You pass the STEP exam. Congratulations, you're a doctor. You can open a clinic, and you know what? You do it for half the price that it would cost to do it at an American university. And you can actually, instead of making the loan to go to some university, you can make a loan to open a fucking clinic in an impoverished neighborhood. And then you're actually helping the community, and you're cutting off these twats. Why don't people want to do this? Like, why don't you want to go to Hungary and learn a trade? Seriously, it's cheap. It's fucking cheap. Like, we got students in my town coming from Japan to study here. And then they go back in Japan and they practice what they learned. Like, we got people from Qatar, Saudi Arabia, Middle Eastern nations, Israel. There's a lot of people that can't afford to do that, and they coming here. You know, I don't know why Americans don't want to do it, but like, whatever. It's very fascinating to finally see what's going on. And my favorite part is like the conservatives at the ceremonies are saying this is a form of segregation. Yeah, so you're telling me that conservatives are literally the only ones that realize there are 4 lights? Like, how can you look at it and not see that it's a form of segregation? If you're saying, okay, LGBTQ people go here, Latinx people go here, impoverished people go here, how can you justify it as anything but? The more ridiculous the news, the more squeaky I get. I know. But it's tiresome, like the activist says. You know, except when I say that I'm tired, I don't get an army of people that are trying to cancel things. But honestly, like, if anything should be protested in the United States, is the universities. Okay, they charge too much for what they're doing. They're taking the piss on students. They're teaching the students to become revolutionaries so that they go around and they protest and then they get arrested. And then they teach them useless crap so that they can't get a job. It's not the system, it's not America, it's not society, it's the universities. They're the ones that are to blame. And literally no one is talking about it. No one is protesting about it. Like, there's people protesting student debt, but they're not doing it in front of the university. They're the ones that charged you. There is absolutely no reason why a university should cost $50,000 per year. Do you understand this shit? It doesn't cost this much in Europe. Why do you think it should cost this much in the United States? I'll tell you why. Because the banks are willing to pay. If the universities are going to say, okay, $100,000 per year, why the fuck not? When you go to the bank and you're like, I want money for a university study. Okay, sure, yeah, why not? 100,000. And then you're the one that has to pay it. You know what would be the best system, by the way, about reversing student debt? It would be like, fine, you know what? You can't pay it. Okay, we're going to reverse it. But they should cancel your diploma as well. Let's see how many leftists would like that. It's like, okay, you can't find a job with your gender studies. Perfect. You can't find a job. We're going to pay you back, but we're going to take your diploma away. You know, it's like when you buy something and you don't like it, and you give it back. It's like if I buy a vacuum cleaner and it doesn't vacuum properly, I give it back and I get my money back, right? But you give the vacuum cleaner, like, how would it be? So I keep the vacuum cleaner and I get the money back as well. That would be fucking theft now, wouldn't it? No. It should be like this. You know, you sign a piece of paper where you state that you will never mention that you got a diploma from there. And if you do mention it, you're supposed to either go to jail or have a fine. It's like not paying taxes. It should be similar to that. No, it should be like forgery. It literally like forgery. It's like, okay, so you get your money back for your diploma, and then it's like you never had it. So if you say that you had it, it's like forging a degree. It's like lying in official documents and pretending that, huh? I don't know if in the United States it works like that. Like forging the idea that you have a diploma, huh? Is it forgery? In Europe it is. You go to prison for that. Should be the same. You know, hey, you don't want it? That's fine. Here's your money back. But it's like you never got it. If you say you got it, it's forgery. I'm curious how many leftists would like that, huh? And by the way, like if they don't like it, they're stupid because you still get an advantage. The only reason you go to a university is for the connections. It doesn't matter in today's world who you know. It matters who you blow. So the more people you know, the more social networking you have, the easier it is to get a job, the easier it is to get a promotion. It's not about learning stuff anymore at universities because they don't teach you important things. I mean, looking at this, it's like, okay, LGBTQ studies. Like, how is an expert in homosexuality supposed to get a job? Seriously, like, I understand it's a noble profession, a noble trade. Like, understanding the LGBTQ is the peak of Western wisdom. They study it at universities, okay? But, like, how are you supposed to get a job using that? How are you supposed to pay your student loan? When are you going to get hired? As an expert in homosexuality. I'm legitimately curious, you know? From an academic point of view, it's interesting. It's like, okay, you know, let's delve into the mysteries. Okay, fine, but like, how do you get a job? How do you put food on the table? Society is to blame, isn't it? Because they're not hiring these experts into positions of power, huh? Maybe you can become a politician, huh? I don't know. Let me know what you think, and I'll see you guys in the comment section. If you like this video, do thumb it up, and please share it around, and thank you for watching.